Hello again. This is Butler County Mike bringing you a day trip that the family and I took to Freeport, Pennsylvania for Renshaw's Farm's 14th annual Pumpkin Fest. It'll continue every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the month of October from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and definitely is a great family place to take your children. Here you'll see various yard games from cornhole, Connect Four, checkers played with actual pumpkins, and a children's bowling, which somehow I didn't get a shot of. I saw it, but obviously I didn't film it. If you live in the area and you have children, you should really plan on taking the trip here with the family because this was a great atmosphere. And my son loved it. Even if you don't get a chance this year, definitely go to their website, check it out, and plan on going next year. Here you'll see several cutouts where you can take pictures of your child, if your child cooperates, of course. Mine didn't, but then again, he's only 2, so I didn't really expect it. The building to the right was a gift shop, and you'll see later on, I'll pan to the other side of it. I pan back now to the pumpkin launch area. And that's where you could buy a bucket full of pumpkins, say that 5 times fast, to launch with a huge slingshot across a pond and try to hit one of the wooden targets that they had. I couldn't make out the very first one. All I saw was the word COVID, so I sort of named it COVID Sucks. The middle one was, of course, Bigfoot, and the last one was an alien. I zoomed out to show you an overview, and as I pan to the left, you'll see there was a band setting up. Now, I went to the website. I can only assume that the band will be there every day of the festival, but the website didn't mention it, so who knows. As I continue to pan, you'll see the gift shop again as I go the whole way around. And before you see the gift shop, though, you'll see another big building. That big building, you could actually go in, sit down, and actually enjoy an entire meal. And they have the menu and the website I'll mention at the very end of the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. Okay, here's the pumpkin slingshot again. I was really hoping, I filmed this several times a day, I was hoping I'd catch somebody hitting one of those targets. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I heard people hitting it all day long, though. It was funny. Every time I was gone, I could hear it was a loud cracking noise. You'd hear it smacking against that board. It was so distinct, you could even hear it up on the hillside near the pumpkin patch. As I pan across, the next shot will be one of the Hay Bell Mountains, if I can speak. And it looks like a mountain on this side, but on the other side of it was actually a slide. And I'll show that later. I zoom in to show you the corn pit. We'll get to that later. But that was probably the most popular thing there, I would say. Then to the right was a pavilion where you could sit down, relax, and eat. Okay, and then I'll zoom in here. This is the bouncy balls, and it was to the left of the Hay Bell Mountains. This farm had a lot of fun things for children to do. I went to another farm last year, which I liked as an adult, but it didn't have that many activities for children as this farm. So this is really a great choice if you have children. This thing, I'm not sure what it was called. To try to go to the website, all I know is it was a big corrugated pipe between 2 bales of hay, and you could make it roll by walking. And here, like I mentioned earlier, probably one of the most popular things to do, the children liked, that is, was the corn pits, and they had 2 of them. If you can see the one in the distance way at the top of your screen, that was for the children, toddlers, and then this one was more for adults, even though there were small children in it. I mean, they did have a sign for the toddlers, but I don't think most people knew that. So their children just played in whichever one they wanted to. But I'm sure the textures and everything, it just really, definitely, I'm sure, was fun for the children to be able to experience the corn and everything. Anyways, just to give you reference, there's the bouncy balls, and then there was a large photo frame you could have a family shot, and then here is the Hay Bell slide, so that you saw the back side of it, and then you'd climb up it and you'd slide down, of course. And then to the left of that were those corn pits. Oh, I'm sorry. and somebody ran into me, so you could hear me say excuse me. Here is the 9-hole mini golf, and that was further down into the farm. And then straight ahead you can see the Tractor Tire Mountain in the distance, and to the right of that was an actual hay bale mountain, so there was no slide on this one. And then I pan across, you'll see people lined up to take a hayride up the hill to the pumpkin patch. I counted at least 5 tractors all day long giving these rides continuously. So if you think about it, the expense of diesel fuel and to be running these tractors all day long, I mean, $7 isn't that much when you consider how much their expenses would be running, obviously employees and then everything else. Here was the bounce pillow, and it's probably easily the second most popular thing for children to do. To keep the lines moving, there was a 5-minute time limit because of course they only allowed a certain number of children on there at one time. Here is the child zip lines, and as you'll see, it is not driven by gravity but by parent or staff. I think it looked fun, but there were not a lot of people lined up to do this. In fact, only 2 kids. This was at the right after where you saw the bounce pillow, so it wasn't that far out, but most people stayed towards the middle. Now this was the first day, so who knows?
Every pumpkin fly is different, so it's coming.
Wow.
Scared me. Wow.
I didn't want to talk over that. Thanks to Renshaw Farms for the demonstration there. But this was my favorite, the pumpkin cannon. And the staff was great to give me a demonstration. I had to try it for myself, but and it was a lot of fun. Here are some more footage of it, though. And this, just like the pumpkin slingshot, you could hear when people would hit that side of that van, like no matter where you were in this van. According to their website, this was new this year. They called this the Tractor Pedal Track. And here you could practice roping a steer, and if you look at the child in black, he actually did it, but the rope didn't tighten up because of course there was no resistance from a bull, from a real bull, or he would have got it. This I thought was neat. This was a giant rope spider, but on this day this was easily the least favorite thing to do. No child was anywhere near it, so of course I had to send my child on it. Here's some live music.
Come on, shake it, shake it, shake it, stupid. Come on, shake it, shake it, shake it, yeah. Come on. Hang on, stupid, stupid, hang on. Hang on, stupid, stupid, hang on. Hang on, stupid, stupid, hang on.
Okay, so here's an overview of Renshaw Farms from the pumpkin patch. Here, of course, you can pick your own pumpkin. And then next to the pumpkin patch, they had a child-friendly corn maze. You'll notice a wide open areas all over the place, and we didn't have a hard time finding an exit, but I did hear other people definitely having trouble trying to get their way out. Anyways, that wraps up our visit to Renshaw Farms in Freeport. Please feel free to leave me a comment, an encouraging comment, of course. If you liked the video, please like it. Till next time, this is Butler County Mike.